from Kitchener-Waterloo.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Yesterday, my question is to the Deputy Premier. Ontario's Independent Auditor General said the Liberal government is trying to gut the rules that stop public dollars from being spent on Harper-style partisan advertising, and I quote, these proposed changes would allow the government to spend public dollars on partisan advertising with little of the current independent oversight. The government could flood the province with self-congratulatory and self-promotional advertising that would be of little practical use to the citizens who are paying for it. Why are the Liberals taking a page out of Stephen Harper's playbook so that they can spend public money on these partisan advertisements instead of spending money on schools, on healthcare, or even on transit infrastructure?
Thank you.
Well, Speaker, I mean, what we are doing is we are expanding oversight of the Auditor General at her request to include kinds of advertising that are not currently covered in the legislation. As I say, that was at her request, so we are moving forward on that. We are also looking at how the Act is being implemented, and what we have seen, Speaker, is that legislation that was intended to prevent any government ever again running the kind of wasteful ads that Mike Harris ran, Speaker. What we are doing is we're clarifying what we mean by partisan. We remain absolutely committed to ensuring that taxpayer dollars are not spent on partisan ads. This amended legislation will do exactly that. And I would like to comment, Speaker, that Ontario is the only jurisdiction in the country
Member from Simcoe North, second time.
Restricting that kind of
advertising. Supplementary.
Well, Mr. Speaker, I just want to say, I mean, we trust the Auditor General more than we trust what's coming out of the Deputy Premier's mouth. Remember that the Deputy Premier sang a different tune when she was speaking to legislation that restricted partisan ads in the past. In 2004, in this legislature, she spoke about some constituents who told her, and I quote, "Please remember that when you spend money, you are spending our money." Those constituents inspired then the Deputy Premier to add, "It's just outrageous to me that governments spend money on what are, in essence, political pieces." Meanwhile, in Ottawa, Justin Trudeau, the leader of the third party, says he's got a problem with public dollars being spent on partisan ads, but in Ontario, the Liberals are gutting the rules so she can use public dollars to run their own partisan ads. Can the Deputy Premier explain why the Liberals think Ontario families should pay for Stephen Harper-style partisan advertising that promotes the interest of the Liberal Party of Ontario?
Well, Speaker, we are very, very clear. In fact, we are world leaders when it comes to restricting partisan government advertising. The members opposite may laugh at that, Speaker, but there is no other jurisdiction in this country. In fact, I think you'd have to go to Australia to find the closest jurisdiction that has anything like this kind of legislation, Speaker. So let's be clear about what we're doing. We're expanding oversight to include other forms of advertising. We're providing a clear definition of partisan advertising. We're requiring the government to submit a preliminary review of the ad to the Auditor General, and we're reinforcing rules around government advertising during elections. We are also moving to strengthen third-party advertising regulation, Speaker, because we heard from the Chief Electoral Officer, and we believe that we need to do something on this front. Speaker, we are making changes that will strengthen the legislation.